Military power of USA and Russia. USA is a country located in North America with an area of 9,857,306 square kilometers, land boundaries 12,002 kilometers and coastline 19,924 kilometers. The capital of USA is Washington. The number of inhabitants is 331,449,281. The United States is a member of NATO and was one of the original 12 countries to sign the North Atlantic Treaty in 1949. The U.S. military's inventory is comprised almost entirely of domestically produced weapons systems. Defense industry is capable of designing, developing, maintaining, and producing the full spectrum of weapons systems. The United States is the world's leading arms exporter. Russia is a country located in North Asia bordering the Arctic Ocean with an area of 17,098,242 square kilometers, land boundaries 22,407 kilometers and coastline 37,653 kilometers. The capital of Russia is Moscow. The number of inhabitants is 146,171,015. On the 24th of February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine with an estimated 150,000 troops. Russia is the leading member of the Collective Security Treaty Organization. The Russian Federation's military is equipped with domestically produced weapons systems. Russia is the world's second largest exporter of military hardware and has the world's largest stockpile of nuclear weapons. Military expenditures. USA military budget $816 billion. Percent of GDP 3.3%. Russia military budget $65.9 billion. Percent of GDP 4.1%. Manpower. USA active personnel 1,358,500. Reserve personnel 799,500. Available for military 73,270,043. Russia active personnel 1 million. Reserve personnel 2 million. Available for military 34,765,736. Land forces. USA tanks 6,612. Armored fighting vehicles 41,237. Total artillery 4,243. Self-propelled artillery 1,498. Rocket artillery 1,366. Russia tanks 12,267. Armored fighting vehicles 24,172. Total artillery 18,266. Self-propelled artillery 6,443. Rocket artillery 4,331. Air forces. USA total aircraft 12,930. Fighter aircraft 461. Multirole aircraft 2,417. Attack aircraft 566. Helicopters 4,741. Yukov combat drone 334. Russia total aircraft 4,418. Fighter aircraft 340. Multirole aircraft 382. Attack aircraft 689. Helicopters 1,665. Yukov combat drone 100. Navy. USA total naval 460. Aircraft carriers 20. Destroyers 94. Frigates 0. Corvettes 22. Submarines 69. Russia total naval 653. Aircraft carriers 1. Destroyers 14. Frigates 11. Corvettes 80. Submarines 66. Nuclear weapons. USA the first country to develop and to military use nuclear warheads in the world. Everything started from the Manhattan Project, a research that had one particular goal and focus: to develop and produce the first nuclear weapon. Americans were the first to wield such powerful weapon. Everything started in 1941, which is date of the beginning of Manhattan Project. Since the end of the Second World War, United States became the leading country when it comes to possessing nuclear warheads, and it lasted approximately to 1980s. We should also bear in mind that United States are also the only nation that ever used nuclear weapon in military conflict. In 1960, the amount of warheads stored by Americans exceeded 30,000. However, it is worth to note that throughout the entire period of the so-called Cold War, USA managed to build approximately 70,000 nuclear warheads, what is more than all other countries with access to nuclear weapons combined. From the first test that happened in 1945 to this day, the USA conducted 1,054 tests of atomic bombs. Still, as a result of introduced restrictions on the amount of warheads one state can possess, The current number is dropped to 6,500 warheads. Noteworthy is also the fact that out of this number, United States deployed only 1,600. Russia, the second most important state, when it comes to researching, developing, and then storing nuclear weapon. Although the Russians managed to catch up with Americans later on, it was only in 1949 that the first nuclear test, conducted by then the Soviet Union, occurred. It was still quite a surprise for the Western powers, who believed that Russia won't be capable of producing nuclear warheads until 1953-1954. After the first test, the nation in question started to rapidly increase the amount of warheads they possessed. In the end of 1980s, they were the leading power when it comes to total number of warheads stored. It was approximately 40,000 warheads. Nowadays, similarly to United States, the Russians store a total number of 6,490 warheads, what is scarcely more than USA. When it comes to the number of deployed warheads, the amount is the same as in case of Americans, namely 1,600 deployed warheads. We should also remember about the fact that Russia conducted over 700 tests. What makes them the second most important nation when it comes to developing nuclear weapons? However, it was the Soviet Union that managed to create the biggest bomb in the world. Known as Tsar Bomba, it had blast yield of 50 megatons of TNT. Military service, USA, 18 years of age, 17 years of age with parental consent for male and female voluntary service, no conscription, maximum enlistment age 42, Army, 27, Air Force, 34, Navy, 28, Marines, service obligation 8 years, including 2 5 years active duty, Army, 2 years active, Navy, 4 years active, Air Force, Marines. Is eliminating prohibitions restricting women from assignments in units smaller than brigades or near combat units. Russia, 18-27 years of age, for compulsory or voluntary military service. Males are registered for the draft at 17 years of age. 1-year service obligation. Conscripts can only be sent to combat zones after 6 months of training. Reserve obligation for non-officers to age 50. Enrollment in military schools from the age of 16. Cadets classified